While that was going on, they also received information that another person had been cut or stabbed just east of McDonald's on Roosevelt Avenue. Officers quickly arrived there and did find the victim, where they also rendered aid and notified the paramedics that there is another victim. At that time, they also did see the suspect, who matched the description provided to them, running from the scene. Officers were able to track him down at pretty close to the intersection of Chesterfield and McCorkle Avenue. When officers were able to, when they almost detained him, he actually started cutting himself with a sharp instrument. Officers were able to detain him and arrest him at that point, and also render aid and get him to the medics. So at this time, we have a total of 4 victims who were stabbed or cut. They are currently being treated for their injuries. Right now, I'm being told they are non-life-threatening, and they will make a full recovery, which, thank goodness for that. We have arrested the suspect, and he will face multiple counts of malicious wounding once he is released from medical care. His name is Percy Rashawn Woody. He is from Charleston, West Virginia. I should also note that Percy Woody was also a current employee of the McDonald's at the time of this incident. Right now, our team is currently investigating a motive. We cannot release that at this time. And the incident was isolated to that area, so there is no further harm to the public. And that is my statement on that. I'll be glad to take any questions.
Is it W-O-O-D-Y? Is that how you spell it?
W-O-O-D-Y, yes, sir.
Can you spell Rashawn?
R-Y-S-H-A-W-N.
So the 3 people at McDonald's, they were cut, not stabbed, or what was that kind of like?
We believe they were cut with a sharp end. I don't necessarily think it was a stabbing. I think it was just more of a cutting.
Were they customers or fellow employees, or what was their relationship to what?
There were both current employees and patrons of the store, yes.
How many were employees and how many were customers?
We believe 2 employees and 1 bystander.
Was that random, the bystander?
We believe so, yes.
And then the stabbing later on, that was random too?
Yes, ma'am.
Was he actively working when this happened,
We
like on shift?
We believe so, yes.
What's his age, and what charges are you going to bring against him?
He is 37, and as of right now, he will be charged with 4 counts of malicious wounding.
And what is his condition right now?
He's currently being treated as well. He is in police custody, but he is being treated at the hospital.
As far as past history, does Woody have any past history?
He does have a past history. He's been arrested by us a few times for malicious wounding, once in 2018 and once in 2019. I do not have the disposition of those cases in front of me right now, but we will be looking into that.
Did they all have knives or edged weapons, or were they?
We believe so, yes.
As far as surveillance video, is there a way to get a hold of that by chance today?
Right now we do have custody of those videos. However, being an active crime scene, we are holding those for evidentiary purposes at this time.
Can you say where these people were cut or stabbed?
I cannot.
No.
Any further questions?
And how long did it take you all to eventually get to him or find him?
Within minutes. Within minutes of arriving on scene, yes.
What do you believe led to the stabbing?
We don't know that at this time.
Do you know his condition at this time? Is he hurt at all? Or is he...
I do not have his actual condition. I just know he's being treated at the hospital.
In terms of the person stabbed in Roosevelt, was this person just outside, inside a house? I mean,
Yes, she was outside just minding her own business and randomly was attacked, yes.
Do you think that he would have maybe hurt more people if he hadn't been arrested or caught?
That we don't know. With the multitude of factions that happened during this, I would safely say that it's very possible. And I think with that being said, our officers did a tremendous job in finding this person quickly and detaining him quickly without further incident.
I mean, if this had been a gun, and or even it could have been a much worse situation too, as far as the injuries and things like that.
Yes, I agree.
It's probably hard to speculate on this, but if you're in that situation, like just a customer at McDonald's or any place, what advice would you give people when they see something like this might start happening or happening?
Well, we would treat this as, we would tell people to treat it like we always hear with active shooters, run, hide, fight, or, we don't encourage people to go seek out people and handle it themselves, obviously, but, we would definitely tell people to be aware of their surroundings and get out of there as quickly as possible.
Can you talk about the seriousness of the situation here and if there was any mental health issues that he had?
We do not know of any mental health issues at this time. Again, that's still being investigated. And what was your other question?
The
I'm sorry.
seriousness of this situation.
Oh, obviously, this is very serious. Anytime you have multiple victims or even one victim is a serious incident. And, we're just glad that he was caught quickly.
Just double checking, you have an adult female injured on Roosevelt, and then one customer, male, female, adult, juvenile, and the 2 employees, male, female, adult, juvenile?
No, we don't have a juvenile involved in the stabbing
That's what-
incident.
Yeah. So
They're all adults.
Okay.
Yes.
Female or male on the customer and the 2 employees?
It was a female customer. Female was on Roosevelt Avenue, and I don't have the gender for the 2 employees.
Did anyone have any information about his behavior leading up to it, or maybe his behavior or mannerisms when you all got to him?
No, we do not have that information at this time. Yes.
In your years of law enforcement, have we seen anything like this happen within the city or maybe the county?
To my knowledge, there has been similar incidents. I can't think of those particular incidents now, but we have had multiple victims when it comes to incidents as such. And
I think they had a stabbing in the Elkview McDonald's with an employee involved allegedly.
Did Woody, was the arrest peaceful or did he resist at all
they took him into custody without incident.
after he had tried to stab himself?
Correct.
Do you know how long he had been working at the McDonald's?
I do not know that. Yes, if not, I'll move on to the next one if you like. This will be concerning the shooting that occurred last night at about 11:30 p.m. Officers were dispatched to Lippert Street, which is in Orchard Manor, regarding a shooting. When officers arrived, they found an adult female that was deceased from multiple gunshot wounds. Officers were able to determine a suspect quickly, and an officer who was patrolling in the area of 6th Street and Hunt Avenue was able to find the suspect and was able to take him into custody without further incident. The suspect was identified as a Dominic Curtis Gray. He's 38 years old from Columbus, Ohio, and he was arrested and will be charged with first-degree murder.
Is there a motive on that?
Right now, we do not have a motive.
Can you release the name of the victim at this point?
As of now, we cannot release the victim's name pending family notification.
You got any idea when that might occur?
I'm hoping very soon, but I can't provide a timetable.
An individual by the name of Anthony Dye was called by the suspect in, according to the court documents, and admitted the shooting to him. What's his relationship to this person and to the victim, or maybe there's none? I don't know.
I can't comment on that. That's being investigated right now.
What about the condition of the child that was injured?
The child, there was a juvenile infant inside of the apartment who was injured. That infant is being treated currently right now, and I do not have a status. I do know that it is not serious at this time.
Did you say that there was or was not a motive, and is there a relationship between Gray and the victim?
As of this time, we do not have an exact motive. That is still being investigated, but we can say that there was some type of relationship between the suspect and the victim.
Some neighbors in the area were saying that they heard arguing gunshots were heard. Do you know of any sort of altercation that happened before the shots happened?
We cannot comment on that this time.
Do you all still have a program where officers live in public housing?
Well, that's not a program for Charleston Police.
That's a program for the
that's
housing authority.
Kanawha County, Kanawha, Charleston.
An officer
Housing
lived
authority.
nearby that. I didn't know if he was called out for that or.
I can't provide that information right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
As far as the shooting scene, what is it like for officers to come up on a scene where a mother's been killed and child injured?
Well, it's obviously devastating. We don't want to see anybody hurt, especially in this manner. And our officers, unfortunately have to see a lot of these things. And so it's pretty tough on them, but they do know they have a job to do. And that job is to make sure that we take that person in custody who's responsible and to treat the victims, if possible.
Was Mr. Gray wanted for anything in Ohio?
That I cannot comment on.
As far as the relationship, is there any sign of forced entry, or Mr. Gray was, as far as you could tell, inside the apartment at the time?
That's still being investigated. Yes, sir.
And just to confirm, was the mother of the child inside the house?
We believe so, yes.
Do we know, we know that Gray was from Columbus, Ohio. Do we know what he was doing in Charleston,
We do not know that at this time.
or the relationship with the mother,
Yeah, we don't know the exact relationship. We just know that there was some relationship between the two.
Are you able to say the age of the child?
No, I cannot.
At the age of the mother, you know?
No, I cannot comment on that until we notify family.
Do family live around the area, or they live somewhere else,
That's still being looked at at this very moment.
Is there a criminal history from Gray as far as you're concerned, do you know?
He has very little history with Charleston PD. I do know that. As far as his history from other agencies, I cannot comment on that right now.
Not to say that this is something that happened in this case, but usually during this time, we all know that it seemed like domestic situations go up a little bit higher. What advice would you give people who may be a little bit frustrated with each other during this time of year?
Well, obviously we can't control how people act in their own houses a lot of times, but we obviously preach for peace anywhere we can, and we try to resolve matters as best we can.
So what should people do, I think? Like say, you're in an argument with your husband, your wife, or whoever. Should they go different rooms or get out of each other's hair, or how do you calm tensions?
Well, in that situation, yeah, we try to separate both parties, and we take appropriate action where necessary.
You also mentioned he was taken into custody he wasn't taken into custody from the crime scene. Do you know if he fled on foot after the shooting happened, or how he got there?
He was not at the crime scene when we arrested, yes. He was at 6th Street and Hunt Avenue, which is a few blocks away.
Like
from Orchard
outside,
Manor.
like on the street?
Outside, yes.
Do you know what time he was brought into custody?
It was probably just within minutes.
So he was
But
on
the police
foot,
arrived.
in a car.
That is true, yes.
Just not that long after the shots happened that he was brought in.
That's correct.
Did he have the weapon on him, or still? Or
I
was that-
cannot comment on that.
Can you speak to the manpower it took to first have this double shooting and then to kind of turn around and have multiple stab victims on the other side of town? What that was like, sort of kind of
Sure.
piecing that all together?
Any serious, we classify this obviously as a critical or serious incident, and that is all hands on deck with our officers, yes. All right, if you guys don't have any more, that'll wrap up our press conference. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Excuse me, just need to get your guys' names, and also the charging documents do name